Vanakkam, sir. Namaskar. Welcome back to Jalprayag. Today I'm going to do one more session on the chart symbols, which I had already done. So I'm going to stop with this video on chart symbols once I finish this particular episode, and then I'll change over a little bit later. But we still have more chart symbols to come. But by doing this video for now. Let us say for temporarily, I'll stop and later on I'll change over to something else, some other topic, which and I'll come back. Yes, I'll come back later. The main idea was right now a batch of second mates and phase one, they will be having exams. So particularly second mates, for you always there's a question regarding chart symbols. So I'm going to conclude temporarily with this episode where I'm going to exclusively concentrate only on rocks and wrecks. So that is what is more. Of course, it is going to help BSc students also whenever they have their exams. So it's worthwhile watching and looking at these symbols also. The presentation is good, so it might help you. Easy to remember. As a repeat, IHO and NP 5011 are the source, and I'm going to talk about only paper chart symbols. As usual, please check the previous videos on Jalprayag. So I'll give you the playlist also, the chart symbols and the tides. And the numbers are 94, 99, and 100. So these are the videos. Now, this is the next one. So let's quickly have a look on your rocks and wrecks. Now, the reason for me to make video number 100, I had slightly diverted and went into tides concept. There was a purpose, I told you, because the symbols which I'm going to show you today has got a lot of usage of this kind of a color feature, and the way it is depicted is also depending on whether that rock or wreck will come under drying heights or it will come under the chartered elevation principle. Both have got a different datum. So let us see this. Initially, I'll show you the basics, and then I'm going to show you how this concept is applied. So let us start off. I've just highlighted only on the right side just for your reference. A small introduction, because for you it is important to know that rocks and wrecks are both are dangerous to navigation, and so you need to understand them. And the problem is there are different symbols for just the rock and the wreck also. There are different symbols. They are dependent on the scale of the chart, the way you can see, and now what feature you need to give depending on the danger. So that is the reason rocks and wrecks I went on separately, and I did a episode on this because they themselves have got multiple symbols. So you need to understand them, and you need to know what is the meaning before you start doing passage. Your rocks and wreck follow the concept of tidal ranges. So that is the reason I showed you the previous slide based on your drying height principle and the chartered height principle. Your colors are one of the most striking features, so please use that and let us see what are they. Before I go only into rock and wreck, let me show you what are the color features that might be used. We have already seen on the tide concept that anything which shows up above the MHWS as a height datum will have this color being used in that symbol. Let us say anything which covers and uncovers, which is a drying height principle, will have sort of this color. And when you have some water, let us say with a change of depth contours, usually you will see that when you go to a large scale chart, they will use different colors for telling you the different kind of contours. I have not used all the shades. I've used some shades, just the prominent shade. Let us say you have a shallow water, you might see it very dark blue shade. And let us say you have a slight increase of depth, you might have a lighter shade of the blue. And when you go to quite deep waters, you will see white color. So that is why when you look at ocean charts and all, most of the features of the water is shown in white color. So this is how it is used. These are all for your reference. And how they put these shades will depend on the uh, chart scale and area and all. A lot of local features also. So keep this in mind for a general understanding. That's it. Nothing specific here. Let me start with the first rock symbol. This rock is submerged. Okay, it's quite deep, and the depth is known. So he can give you, or I'm sorry, depth unknown. I'll give you depth known a little bit later. Depth is unknown. He can give you a symbol of just a simple plus. That means it is a rock, or he can write it as Romeo R also. So this is a depth unknown. Any common area where you will see that it is dangerous to surface navigation will have this symbol always being repeated. Uh, so you should remember this symbol always whenever it is incorporated into any rock or wreck or any other symbol. You should consider this as a danger to your navigation. So usually you will see they are dotted circles. And the color inside blue might represent what is the depth range and the contour in which it is coming. Okay, that is how. So this color again goes back to the same blue shades and the white shade, whatever I had shown. This feature, wherever it comes, please consider this as dangerous to surface navigation and don't plot position on top of this or course on top of this, not position, the course on top of. I'm showing you a rock which is dangerous to surface navigation, but the depth is known as 3.1. So it might be shown either like this. This is one of the feature, or it can be shown like this also. Both are valid symbol for you. Both show that they're dangerous to surface navigation. Let us look at something called rock awash. The word rock awash means your rock is coming exactly stopping at the level of LAT or the chart datum. That is why depth will be written as 0 for you. So this is your common rock symbol, which I had shown you previous page, but there'll be a small addition. You will see this 4 dots or the circles around that plus symbol. So this tells you that is rock awash. Rock that covers and uncovers, which comes under drying height principle. Please see here, you might have a green color background, and then you will have this symbol to denote a rock which covers and uncovers with a drying height principle. I'm going to show you something very similar, this time with a height known, the drying height known. It's again a repeat of this, but this time you'll see this 2.1, and the digit 2 will be underlined, or basically the depth will be underlined. Whatever depth is shown will be underlined. Anything underlined is called a drying height principle. Rock with a known depth, same plus, and this time I can give you a depth of let us say 32 meters. So it can be one more symbol also, R32 also you can have. Both mean the same thing. The rock which has grown above the MSWS, let us say that is the hill or a mountain, whatever it is. And this particular spot, he is showing you 33 meters as the peak of that particular hill. And he's showing you a height contour. Height contour again is measured from your MSWS one. So it might look like this, 33. And you can see that circle or whichever shape it is, it shows you a 30 meters contour. So that is a normal way of showing any land also. If you remember, any land which is also shown is shown with the same color. I'm going to go for this similar symbols, but with a cross section. Okay. First, I'm going to show you a cross section of the sea and the seabed. So it is LAT. Let us take this as LAT. Let us take this as MHWS. Okay. 2 of the reference points for me. Let me start one by one. Assume this is an submerged rock. It's maybe quite deep, possibly 32 meters. Now I'm going to show you the symbol on the chart. What this cross section of the water, what you can see, how it will be shown as a plan symbol. The chart is in a plan mode. So what is the chart symbol? it might show like this, just a plus, and or it could be R32 also. Next one, this rock has come and stopped exactly at the level of LAT. I told you this is called rock awash, and depth will be written as 0. So for you, the rock awash, this will be a symbol on the chart. Okay, everything on top, I'm showing you the chart symbol. Your rock can grow into a stage where it can cover and uncover, which comes as a drying height principle. Let us say the drying height was 5.3 meters. So you might see this is 5.3. This is a symbol. Let us say that this rock has grown beyond your drying height principle and grown over the MSWS. So that means this is permanently visible. And let us assume for a height of 33 meters. So this might be shown like this with a peak of 33 meters and a contour of maybe 30 meters. This is how you can be. This contour, please remember, shape need not be always a circle or a oval shape. It can be any shape which actually the mountain is. So it will be a little bit uneven. It will not be so smooth and even picture. So this is one of the pages for which I had to do the tides concept. So remember, your rocks also take a little bit help of how the rock has come up, whether it's submerged, drying height principle, or you're permanently above. So this was the reason for me to do video number 100. So this is usage. I'm going to use the similar concept for Rex also. Okay. Majority of the rock symbols I'm done. Let me go to a wreck. Let us start with a wreck. Wreck is something which is your ship which is sunken, broken, damaged, bombed, whatever you call it, that is a wreck. So wreck is a man-made feature. It's, so wreck written depth known, and this wreck has been checked by wire sweeping. Okay. You use uh, positive physical methods to check whether how much depth is there. And let us say this is considered dangerous to surface navigation. So you can see I have shown you two wreck symbols, 4.6 rec, 6 rec, and wire swept. 25 rec is wire swept. As far as the dotted symbol is there, please remember, please consider is dangerous to surface navigation. Do not plot any track on top of this. Rec with a depth known and it is dangerous to surface navigation. Let us say it was not wire swept, it was checked by some other methods. So this is 4.8 meters rec and it is dangerous to surface navigation. A wreck which for which the part of the hull is visible and superstructure also, maybe mast also above the chart datum. So you might see this symbol for it. Let us look at a wreck. Only the mast is visible and is still considered dangerous. Why? Because the hull might be just inside. So this is one of the very popular symbols used in your chart. And you can see it will be there in various spots somewhere near the ports and all. So this wreck is considered dangerous to surface navigation because it has got that dotted boundary. So please remember, mast is visible. This is a wreck, depth is unknown and is still considered dangerous to surface navigation. You might find this symbol. This is how you might find it. Now, any wreck which is considered quite deep and not considered dangerous for surface navigation, you will see it will be a repeat of this symbol, except that you will not have that dotted boundary with it. So this symbol also. Right now, nothing is mentioned about the depth. So it is considered deep, but I still suggest any prudent navigator, please don't plot over this also just because it is not dangerous. You will find some place which is close to this and having deep waters and all. Please plot over that. Don't. It doesn't look sensible for you to draw on top of this and tell and be overconfident that no, nothing will happen. So I suggest please don't do it. That is my suggestion. My personal suggestion is please don't do it. Do not draw on top of any wreck. It doesn't matter whatever depth is there. You can find the sea is quite wide enough for you to find a spot at least a mile or two away from this. You can easily find. So don't give that impression that you're plotting on top of a wreck. So that is my suggestion for you. Now, I'll show you some rec symbols which are purely on a large scale chart. Why? Because when you have a large scale chart, you can find exactly how much is the boundary of that rec also. So that is why the symbol is not a generic one. It becomes a little bit specific one with the dimensions of the vessel also. You will find this on a large scale or a plan chart you might find. Okay. A wreck whose hull never covers, that means it has got a height above MHWs. So obviously this is the color they will use, and let us say that it has got a mast, and they might write mast is 2.1 meters above the MHWs, and you can see part of the hull always above the water also. So this is a example that the hull is always visible above the water. So this is what it is. This 2.1. Don't go by the figure. I've just given you for depiction. It can be more also. So idea is your body of the particular wreck is always visible above the water. You can always see that. Okay. Now, in the same large scale chart, let us say a wreck is there. It's quite large and it covers and uncovers, has a drying height principle. So immediately the green color talks about a drying height principle, and you will see a dashed line on that, and you might find something like this. So that means now the mast is 1.2 meters above the chart datum. Please remember, it is an underlined figure. It is a chart datum. The previous yellow figure, not exactly yellow, is 2.1 above the MHWS. So just remember these things. Now I'm showing you a wreck which is submerged. 7.1 meters is the depth, but is dangerous to surface navigation. Moment you see this, you will get the dotted lines, or these kind of lines you will find. And the blue color again talks about the contour part of it. Let us not go too much, but you will have this blue color, and you might have this. So these three symbols typically are for large scale charts. Now what I'm going to do, as we have done again most of the wrecks also, let me go back to my cross section. Okay, exactly same, LAT, MHWS. Then I'm going to show you some possibilities of wrecks. This is a wreck whose body is always above the MSWS. It can have a mast also. And this is exactly the symbol I had earlier drawn. Let us say this guy is 2.3 meters. I'm just giving you a vague example. So what is the symbol? This is the symbol. We have already seen this in the last page. So this is a large scale chart symbol. Assume a wreck whose part covers and uncovers. Again, he has got a mast. And let us say he's got 1.3 meters. Again, example. This could be the symbol for you. Okay. Now, assume a wreck which is submerged. Not, let us say, not so deep. It's quite shallow also. So this could be that symbol. This is a dangerous to surface navigation with submerged. Now you can have this 3.1 meters highlighted by a dangerous to surface navigation symbol also. Now let us assume there's a wreck quite deep. 35 meters is quite deep. Then you might have a symbol like this. So this is a possible symbol. So basically I've covered most of the symbols which are needed for your rocks and wreck. I try to make it as simple as possible, but please remember this is not a very professional diagrams or animation. This is all made physically. So bear with me on that the way I have shown. For further reference, you can always go to 5011, and this might help you as a quick guide when you watch. So please use it for your exams and for your normal navigation also. Do remember we still have many ships with take me home charts where paper charts are still there. You are supposed to correct them and you are supposed to know the symbols also. And in ECDIS, of course, you can toggle between the symbols of ECDIS and the paper chart symbols also. Paper charts are quite user friendly. Please use them, and please be careful with your rocks and wicks. I might slightly change the topic which I'm going to take in the next video. I might go into passage plan. Let me do some basics of passage plan, which will help all of you, particularly second mates, BSc, and mates for a basic passage plan. And later on, I'll come back to the symbols. We still have symbols of boys, so that is also quite a big topic. A lot of symbols of boys are there, which do come in the exam. I took a couple of symbols of voyage in the first video which we had done. Maybe it's 94. I'll come back with the rest of the boys. Until then, keep watching Jal Prayag. Swanakam, Namaste, and Namaskar. I'll catch you soon.